Whoa, where am I? It's a swirly white void. You gotta make noise so it switches over to you. There you go. Nah.
Whoa!
So today we are debating a series that was once near and dear to our heart, but has since taken a turn towards the more we hate it side. It used to be our favorite game series, and it is Final Fantasy, and we have not really liked it in the last how many years do you think? When did Final Fantasy X came out? That's the last one I really liked. How about you, First Mate Sam?
Yeah, that was the last one I really liked too. What was that, like 2001? Hold on, let me look it up.
Google that bad boy. I think it was 2001. I think you're right. Seems like a lot of cool things came out in 2001. But before we get started here, I've compiled a brief documentation of a 14-page synopsis on each of the Final Fantasy games that have come out thus far.
Nice biology review.
Final Fantasy 1. No, actually, it's not biology review. It's actually like a brochure. My girlfriend and I tried out a new church today, so it's actually a brochure from there.
Is it
But
called Calvary?
it is called Calvary Life. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Funny.
we really liked it. But no, I
Good.
don't have a synopsis on all the Final Fantasy games. That would take me forever. So that was a joke.
It was 2001. We were right.
Great. Okay, so for
So
this, go ahead.
it's been over a decade since we've liked a Final Fantasy game.
Yes. So during this, I've seen some footage from the new Final Fantasy episode "The Sky" or whatever it's called, and I have some feelings about it, and First Mate Sam has some feelings about it. We're probably both pretty close to the same thought process on it, but for the sake of this debate, one of us does lean more towards one side and one towards the other one, so we're going to have a bit of a discussion here about does this game actually have potential for being good? We were huge fans of the first 10 Final Fantasy games. Um, we are curious as to is this going to finally get back to the mix of the Final Fantasy games that we like? And to answer that question, we have brought in a guest. So go ahead and let us know what you think, guest. uh, Vivi
I'm
doesn't.
still 5 years old.
Vivi's a little quiet, but um, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean.
Is it
But
Vivi or Vivi?
I think Vivi. I always said Vivi when I was younger. I don't know.
Is it Zidane or is it Zidane?
I don't know, but I ordered a T-shirt today with a picture of him on it, and it says, "What does it say? You don't need a reason to help people." I
Yeah.
thought it was sweet. Um, all
Brutal.
right, so I'm gonna lean towards. I think that there's actually pretty good hope for Final Fantasy 15 being a pretty solid game. From what I've seen of the demo, there's definitely some screenshots. I don't like some of the character designs with the revealing outfits and stuff like that, but they have. Um, overall, I think I like kind of the way the characters have been acting from what I've seen. I've only seen a very brief portion of it. The battle system, uh, I like compared to the previous two Final Fantasy games, I think. Um, but anyways, so what would you like to talk about first? First, Mate Sam.
Um, well, you want to kick it off with battle system? Well, first of all, I'll say I'm obviously leaning towards. I do not have high hopes for this game because my last two Final Fantasy relationships I've been highly disappointed in.
Okay,
I've been betrayed twice.
it's true. Fair enough. Um, maybe I'm just being optimistic here. I don't know. Uh, I
Battle
agree
system.
with the last three, four Final Fantasy games haven't really been of much interest. to me. So
Lightning Returns, Double Lightning 2, and 13, and 12.
Final Fantasy 13 4 online X2 number hashtag reload ride the lightning.
Chocobo Secret Quest, DLC.
With outfits. But so I think the battle system for this new game looks pretty solid. I've said for many, many years, like, if it's not going to be a Final Fantasy game, and when I say that, I mean if it's not going to be a turn-based RPG, which is what I think made the battle system so great in Final Fantasy games, if it's not going to be that classic JRPG style, then it might as well become Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts, I liked Kingdom Hearts, and I liked the battle system, so if Final Fantasy isn't going to be Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy might as well be Kingdom Hearts. That's my thought on that. From what I've seen, it kind of looks like Kingdom Hearts, but I... He's got so many epic action figures. First Mate Sam has so many epic action figures, it's great, but apparently they're all ready for him right now. Like, he's got them all right there ready. But so I like what I've seen. At least it's kind of strategic. It probably will lean towards more skill based and less strategy based, I guess. But what are your thoughts, First Mate Sam?
All right. Well, from what I've seen, I will give you that it looks better than the last two battle systems from 12 and 13. I think it's really highly based around all different special moves versus just flat out attacking, which is understandable. That's been a key component of Final Fantasy for a while, special moves, obviously. I think, personally, that it's too MP heavy. Just watching people play the game, like, if they want to do any sort of damage, they got to use special attacks, and then they run out of magic power really fast. And, I don't know. There's that. And, I don't know, probably my main problem with it is you only control one character again.
Yeah, I mean that is. As much as I'm kind of like leaning towards this, I completely agree that I wish that this was still a turn-based RPG. I loved that about Final Fantasy games. And that's why I like the game Lost Odyssey so much. Lost Odyssey was kind of had its weirdnesses that I didn't like too, but like it was nice having a turn-based RPG for the strategy, for using your brain. I like that type of game, and I'm kind of sad that they're diminishing so much, and felt like Final Fantasy kind of did JRPGs the best, in my opinion, from what I had played.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play every JRPG ever, obviously, but I really enjoyed them, and I am disappointed to see them going away from that route.
What
But
is the most one of the most important aspects in telling a story? For example, what is probably the most important part of Lost?
the the characters, the
Yeah,
music,
character development.
yeah, okay.
Playing as all of them in the old games gave you a sense of being more connected and attached to them. Like your experience in Final Fantasy V, you hated Galuf for a
Don't
while.
spoil. Don't spoil anything. Something happens, and then I liked Galuf a lot. It's
That's cool.
true, and it came through a period of time when you get done playing as Galuf for a period of time, if I remember correctly. I think you play that part. No, I completely agree with you. Being able to not only customize just your party, but being able to have individual moves for individual characters and pick which characters you liked to be in your team, and then formulate a strategy, just like in picking your team and how you develop them, and
Yeah.
then deciding what moves you're going to use within a battle. Like, don't get me wrong, I completely agree that I wish that that is where they would go back to. I think that there's a huge thing missing when they aren't doing that.
Hmm.
But and I'm not favoring this new system over that. I probably never will like another Final Fantasy as much as I've liked, you know, 7, 8, 9. 9 is probably my favorite video game, maybe,
Hmm.
probably. But and but if they're gonna go away from it, like I almost feel like they kind of need to take the step in this direction that they're going. Like they either need to, like they Kingdom Hearts was done well, so they either need to like become that, so they feel like they are not they I don't know they're differentiated. Which really nowadays to differentiate themselves, all they have to do is go back to their old style. Um,
Right.
but
Uh,
I at least hope that it'll be more fun than trying to like kind of play the middle. Like it's an action RPG and it's a JRPG. We're trying to make everybody happy, and I feel like that just doesn't work very well.
no, and yeah, one of my favorite aspects of the Final Fantasy series, some of my favorite parts, especially of the older games, was the job system, which I don't know if we're ever going to get back to that. 13 tried to do job system, which it ruined the battle system for me a little bit. Um, I don't know. So far, what they have going is kind of cool. It seems pretty brutal. I do have my fears, though, that we're going to enter like big world, big monster, hour-long battle syndrome again, like we had in 13 when we went to the new planet and dinosaurs took 2 hours to fight. You fought one battle, you were done playing for the game for a week.
Um, yeah, I'm hoping that it'll be more interactive, like the battles, because you have to be so involved in fighting. But a good example, it wasn't even a game that was very like very fun combat, but I really enjoyed the game. Was Final Fantasy Crisis Core, and
Oh
I would
gosh.
rank Crisis Core above like Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 2, whatever. I would rank it probably above Final Fantasy 12, although there were things about 12 I really liked, but
Even
over
above like Dirge of Cerberus in my book.
yeah, Dirge of Cerberus was not very good. But a lot of people didn't like Crisis Core, but I did because it had an interesting storyline. The level up system, like there's a lot of things that went wrong with that, but it still felt like a Final Fantasy game. Like the lottery level up system in Crisis Core, I did
Mhm.
not like that. And the battle system itself wasn't very refined, but the storyline was solid and it was interactive enough within the battle system that you cared about that character and you did care about the other characters because they developed them so well. They made them
Right.
important. So
Yeah.
this game looks like the battle system is massively refined beyond anything that Crisis Core was.
Hmm.
And the characters from what I've seen seem interesting and like I kind of got a feel and a liking for their different personalities in the small amount that I um saw. So I
Yeah.
think that there might be potential here. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Character wise, I agree with you. I think that there's probably potential there. I don't know. To me, in 12, the characters were a little bit dead personality wise. Um, so it's cool to bring back some extremes, I guess, when it comes to characters. Like you've got your overly brutal, ripped dude with tattoos who looks disturbingly like Angeal. Speaking of Crisis Core, shout out to you, Angeal. Uh, and then like the goofy Zidane character or whatever. I don't know. I like the characters so far. I
Did
don't know
you
much about them. Obviously, I have my fears that things could go wrong, but maybe not.
did you notice anything about I'm specifically thinking about the skinny blonde, looks like a rock band singer, Zell acting goofy character. Did you notice anything in general about their character design that stood out to you apart from other Final Fantasy games? Because I noticed something. Just specifically about him, I guess.
Uh, should I pull up a picture of him?
Can you on your phone?
Uh,
Well, what's his name?
I don't know. It was like pancreas or something like that. I'm pretty sure it started with a P.
Find out his name.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
I'm getting my iPod.
Oh, I figured you would search it on your computer. Um,
Um. Okay.
he's gonna pull up a picture. Oh, you were wanting to just look at it yourself. Whoa, sorry for the
Yeah.
dizziness, guys.
You want to do like a plug or something while I'm doing this?
Plug. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Join audible.com. I'm just kidding. Do you have that on
Wow,
every one of your
sponsored by
YouTube
them.
channels?
Uh-huh.
Do you have like Audible shout outs on every single one of your YouTube channels that you watch?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did do Audible for a month. It was legit. I'm not I'm not a paid endorser of that or whatever. But if you want to help people and help vulnerable women, you can head over to SamaritansPurse.org, I believe, and there's all sorts of categories. First Mate Sam and I totally support giving and helping people in need. So if you're watching this on a computer, chances are you have it off pretty well. That's something that's important to us. So if you are watching this and you want to check out SamaritansPurse.org, it's not something that I'm sponsored by, but it's just something that I personally feel is very important, and I really respect it a lot. So I guess that's a plug. Also, if they won't be out yet, but if you haven't subscribed yet, there's some sweet Zelda concept art that was created by our other brother, our older brother, Josh, that I've made videos about that will be coming out, and if you're a Zelda fan, you're not gonna want to miss out on those. So, if you feel like seeing those and you hit the subscribe button, then those will hopefully be coming in your feed and you'll see them. There's 4 made, but there very well might be more coming because there's more artwork that has been made. So I hope that you enjoy those. How's it coming over there, First Mate Sam? We both suck at multitasking.
His name is Prompto.
Prompto?
Yeah. Prompto. Prompto.
P-T-O. Is his last name like Argentum?
Yeah.
Apparently, this is it not going to show up at all. This is what he looks at. You can Google. That is not showing up very well.
No, but in that picture, I've seen it before. He's got a lot of freckles.
Here's what I think of him, even though that's not the best example. I think that he has more of a realistic sort of look to him than Final Fantasy characters have previously had. Like, there's a real, like, pretty boyness to Final Fantasy characters.
Boy band feel coming from him.
You get that from him? I feel like he, like, kind of looks a little bit uglier and more realistic than most. Usually they have, like, perfectly clear skin. He's not by no means an ugly character, but he's kind of like overly skinny. He kind of looks goofy. Doesn't he kind of have like a goose egg neck thing going on? He's got a bunch of freckles on his face. He just seems like slightly more dopey and realistic looking than a lot of previous Final Fantasy characters, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see it. His hair still is perfectly perfect, I guess.
Yeah, his hair is insane.
But if you want to talk about realistic, talk about Ignis, dude. It's like the dude in the suit with the glasses and the pompadour or whatever. that guy is like straight out of CEO of Walmart or something.
Straight out of CEO of Walmart. He looks like Doctor Who or something, I
Yeah,
guess.
David Tennant.
Yeah. But so next thing I was going to bring up is the music. I thought that the music actually sounded pretty good. And I did you see the Chocobo farm in the playthrough that you watched?
Uh, they showed it. I was distracted at that point in time, and I didn't scroll back to watch it, so I didn't see that. I was probably making food or something and just listening.
Yeah,
Uh, I appreciated the music that they played there,
yeah.
definitely.
Victory fanfare is back too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is. Yeah. And I thought if I felt like the music was a lot better than what I didn't care for the music as much in 13. A lot of people probably did.
13 and 12 battle themes. Okay. 12 battle theme? Did 12 have a battle theme?
I don't remember.
Okay, because I don't really remember it, and my point was going to be that I didn't feel like it was present if it existed. I vaguely remember it having a boss theme, but it wasn't that cool. Uh, 13 battle music wasn't that cool until I got to the that part. Other than that, it was just background noise to me. This stuff definitely sounds cool. Very well orchestrated orchestra sound going on. Yeah, it makes you feel pretty intense or whatever. But I don't know. There's something about a repetitious rhythm that's like catchy that strikes me as a good battle theme. And this isn't really a.
I actually, I no, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. There's actually like, and I didn't get a really great feel for it because it didn't last that long, but there's actually a theme like as you are approaching the enemies that kind of plays like before they spot you, like an
Okay.
intense sort of theme. I actually liked that more than the actual battle theme or whatever,
I'll
and I
have
thought
to.
it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah. Because there's just something great about like.
Car. Um, yeah, I love old school Final Fantasy music.
Yeah.
Back in the day, 7, 8, 9, even the really old ones, there's some awesome music in there. Um,
Even Mom, who doesn't play video games, I played Final Fantasy 3 on my DS so much, and she's like, "Gosh darn it, Samuel, I have your battle themes stuck in my head, like the songs from your video games." Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they had it. Those games had no doubt they had amazing music, but yeah, the music in this one kind of reminded me of Kingdom Hearts once again. This
Yeah,
whole thing, I'm kind of getting like a realistic Kingdom Hearts vibe from it, slightly.
right.
Realistic. Realistically warping around and fighting monsters, but
Making immediately I was a tiny. I can't say that I wasn't a tiny bit concerned when they were given the tutorial on how to fight, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, Noctis makes weapons appear in his hands just when he feels like fighting," and you have a list of like 8 weapons that you can equip. I'm like, "Ugh, oh boy,
that's kind of
it's
yeah.
it,
I don't know if I like that yet or not.
yeah. I'd have to experience it myself. I can't tell if I
Is
like it just from watching it.
is there a reason that he does that? Maybe there's a reason that we don't
Each
know yet.
one has like a different ability or something like that. Uh, each different slot that you put a weapon in has like a different thing to it. Like this is your counter weapon, this is your finishing move weapon or something. So like say you wanted to put your blood sword in your counter attack, so when you counter you get health or whatever. That's sort of the idea behind it, I think.
Yeah, I meant like maybe there's like some significance to it as far as the
Oh, storyline.
plot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Probably. I mean, way back in like 2000, 1984, when the first Final Fantasy 15 Versus trailer or whatever came out, and you saw the dude with the emo hair sitting in the chair and 1,000 swords all around him. So
Yeah, yeah, this has been a long time in the making. I think just the sheer like there's a huge size aspect to it. There's a huge size aspect. It looked big from what I saw. There's a lot of games going big nowadays. Is that going to be the new like standard? Like Zelda looks like it's going to be humongous, and
That's that's another thing that scares me. Like, I don't want games to fall into Batman syndrome. Like, Batman was really successful. Now everything has to be a dark and scary movie in the movie realm, and then video game wise, Assassin's Creed is really successful with its big open world and stuff, and now every game is going to be like that.
I think Skyrim is like Oblivion. Those types of games are kind of like the standard to be based.
Yeah,
Those are popular. The big open world thing is popular. Yeah, not every game has to be that, and if it can't differentiate from the other types, then that's an issue. The challenge is making it open, but making it still like a unique experience, which from what I've seen of this, just the battle system looks unique. I guess I kind of view this as like a Kingdom Hearts type of thing, like in general. Like if Kingdom Hearts was an open world game, I
Mhm.
I feel like it would be so epic. But chances are, unless I see, like I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One. I think it's both on both those consoles, right?
Probably.
But
Yeah,
I don't have either of those. So if I see a lot of good for it, I might try to figure out a way. Um my girlfriend's brother has an Xbox One, so if it is on that platform, I'm pretty sure it is. Um,
this is
then
huge.
then I might get a chance to play it, but I'm
Right.
not sure.
Yeah, I I want to play it because I want to get my own feel for it, and I want to see what it has to offer. But I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, new epic Final Fantasy 15 picture reveals of Boobs McGillicuddy. Also
Yeah,
didn't have it open.
the
You made
screenshots
a
look
good point earlier.
weird. What?
But you made a good point earlier, though, that if we're basing a Final Fantasy game off if it's good or not off of boobs, none of them have been good because boobs in all of them.
You just cut out a lot. What he's trying to say is that we don't really like having like cleavage forced upon us and women degraded horribly. Uh,
Man.
we don't approve. And Final Fantasy games are pretty guilty of that, including the screenshots for this one, but they've all been guilty of that.
Yeah.
No good. But, anyways, do you have any final thoughts on this before we close this
Who's your
video?
who's, who's your favorite character so far of the four?
Not the
Ah,
main character.
no, not Noctis.
Nah, he's probably my least favorite. The other three, I kind of like all of them for different reasons. Um, I the goofy one is it's just nice to see a character like that again. It's just
I
really nice to see a character like that done well. He's not like swag hustler player goofy funny Jack Sparrow, but he's like actually legitimately just like kind of goofy and funny, and I enjoy that. The dude with the
yeah.
long hair and the beard just reminds me. He's just brutal. He just seems brutal. He's got the huge Buster Sword. I like that. But with all that being said, I have this strange feeling that Glass's Pompadour is going to end up being my favorite character in that game. I haven't seen much of him that is that interesting, but I just get this strange feeling that eventually he's going to become a very interesting character and be my favorite. But who knows? What are your thoughts?
Obviously, I don't know much about any of them yet. I really want to like Prompto because I gravitate towards the goofy, silly characters in these games a lot. Like, Zidane is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters of all time. Uh, Titus is funny. I just kind of like that vibe. Uh, and when I picture you liking characters, I I think it's probably changed a little bit since your teenage years, but it's always like Caleb's favorite character is Orin, and Caleb's favorite character is Angeal, and Caleb's favorite character is Big Hairy Six-Pack Buster Sword.
I guess there's some truth to that.
Because that's
Like, I
Caleb
was like the
in real
characters.
life.
What?
Because that's Caleb in real life. Like, you never see more than just his chin in a YouTube video because he doesn't want you all to feel bad about your bodies.
Yeah, right. No, no, I just like Sam. That is not true. False. But I tend to like brutal characters, but I especially like nowadays I especially like brutal characters that have like uh convictions, I guess, or like that are actually like you just held up Riku, right? That you
Yeah.
held up a toy of? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character in Kingdom Hearts. He's super brutal, but he also like struggled and came through struggle to become like a better person and fighting for like good things and good morals. I like characters like that. Kain in Final Fantasy IV, I really liked him.
What
And
about Gabranth?
Gabron. You know who my favorite character in Final Fantasy XII is?
Bosch.
Bosch von Ronsenberg Maska!
That's too bad. I thought it would be Fran.
Nope. Fran! Hey, Mr. Sheffield!
What?
You always say what when I do that reference. There's a show, yeah, youngin', back when we were kids, called The Nanny, and Fran Fine was the main character.
Hmm.
And she would say that thing.
Gotcha.
Or something similar to what I just said. I don't remember exactly. But anyways, we should probably conclude it with that, don't you think?
Nah.
Schnah. You just don't want me to get back to homework.
No. We're going to do another one after this one.
What do you have in mind? Or should that be a secret?
Secret.
Crazy face off.
Fun.
Dusty. Golly, so dusty.
Okay, this is getting weird. I hope somebody tuned in right then, like clicked on Final Fantasy 15 debate and just saw like a minute of us being like and was like, who are these guys anyway?
I mean, that's the overall impression of Final Fantasy 15.
That's just the overall like theme of our channel. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about something. No, wait, let's just make weird faces.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we love you. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in and watching. And we'll talk again tomorrow, shall we? Sorry.
We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.